Deathburn26, have you ever been in a situation where you had to choose between two different things and ended up regretting the choice you made? If so, tell what it was. There's minor things, and it's not like really a choosing between two different things. I just would have chosen to do it differently. For example, one time I was like 15 and there was a 14-year-old girl and we were hanging out at a motel, and not what it sounds like. And we were doing water sprinklers, no, not water sprinklers, water guns, whatever they're called, super soakers. And when she was hitting me with super soaker, I was just playing around, but it ended up roughhousing a bit too much and left marks on her. Even though she wasn't really hurt, it ended up leaving marks on her. Not like me hurting her, but me holding her, sort of thing. And I look back on that and I feel kind of bad about that. She wasn't worried about it, but I just still felt like, At the time I didn't understand, okay, hopefully people aren't going to hate me for this, how much weaker female bodies are than male bodies. I did not know. I did not understand. And it's something I've had to learn through experience. It's sort of like, okay, you know how they have the movie, okay, this is a small tangent, try to keep it small, the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez and whatnot. They show her being this very strong combat lady, being taught by this one guy, trying to train her to be able to defend herself and possibly even kill the father, etc., etc., etc. The one thing that they do a good job on is they mention or they show how a woman has to hit a guy and kick him and knock him down a number of times before he's injured, or one of them might be something that would knock him out or whatever. But if a guy just outright straight punch hits the head of a woman, she's out of the fight right there. Just gone. Just... You can't get hit. There's so much force in a man's punch. I'm not trying to be sexist here. It's physical differences. I mean, unless the guy is like really frail, even then they have a lot more strength and a lot more force that they can put in a punch or a kick or whatever. It's ridiculous how much more strength they have. You could have a guy that's half as much weight as a woman, like physical height and etc., and they're probably averagely tied. It's kind of... I wish it wasn't such a big difference. I really do. But okay, moving on. Okay, that was quite a tangent. Okay, anyway, Deathburn26. Have I ever done anything recently that I would be considered dumb and or stupid? Yes. One thing in particular, one time I was trying to give someone an example of what it was they were doing, but to do so I had to kind of give them a more extreme case, because of course they were ready for it. I'm not going to get into too much detail. And I went too far. I said something I regret, and luckily it turned out fine. But I forget that not only is a man's strength something that you shouldn't underestimate, but also the power of words. You just got to realize that some things need to be broken to people lightly. So yeah. Try not to let emotions get in the way of being good to people, if you can help it. So yeah, failing to do that was rather stupid. Deathburn26 says, have I ever done anything you're extremely proud about? Probably one of the number one things I'm proud about is getting through 4th semester physics. Oh my god, I spent the last 2 weeks before the final, I spent around 16 hours a day in Denny's. It's a breakfast restaurant. Didn't really eat that much food. Just 16 hours a day studying. Just taking a table. It was not a real popular bit at Denny's, so I never was taking a table from anybody else. But just 16 hours a day, study. Go home, go to bed, wake up, back to Denny's, study. Oh. And I got through. I think I might have even gotten an A. I can't believe it, but I think I might have gotten an A. There's lots of other things I've done, like became an Eagle Scout, got my bachelor's degree, got a job, lost my virginity, lots of things. Actually, the last thing, okay. Another side tangent. Losing your virginity is not a big deal. It really isn't. There's a big difference between having sex and making love. Okay, moving on. Deathburn26 asks, have you ever seen any of the Gundam series? And if so, what's your favorite Gundam? I have no idea what my favorite Gundam is. I don't think I've actually seen any. I think I've seen Evangelion, and I hated it. Hated the show. But I don't think maybe I've seen one episode of Gundam, but I don't remember enough. Deathburn26 asks, if you had to choose between magic or weapons, what would you choose? Well, obviously if I had weapons in this life, it would be, okay, that guy's got weapons, he seems kind of scary. Or, he's got magic, holy Moses. I would want magic. I mean, come on, people. Would I rather have a rifle or the ability to have fire come from my fingertips? Come on, people. Magic. Okay. BiggestTwoNoobs, do I like bananas? Yes, I do. I like bananas on peanut butter and bread. That's really good. Slightly toasted. Yeah. LJDavies95 asks, what is the most fun game you played and why? Team Fortress Classic, and because of, if I had to sum it down to one moment, there I was, a medic, being quick and lithe and hopping around in a practice match against the other half, not all by myself, but 5 versus 5, other half of my guild. No, it was called clans. They're called clans. They were called clans. And I go down into this, it was a new map, and I go down into this one little area where the flag was, and there was my cousin. My cousin was basically one of the only people that was really good enough to take me out in regular occasion. And he was in some of the top end clans and guilds. There were guilds, but they're different class guilds. Anyway. And there he was, defending the flag. And so I do my little hopping and go bouncy, and get over to the flag. I grab the flag, and normally I turn right around and start running out of the base. But I didn't do that. I stood right where I picked up the flag. And there my cousin was, freaking out, like, oh my god, the flag just got picked up. And he was shooting rockets everywhere, throwing grenades, just blankety. And the one place he did not shoot was right where I was standing, because it doesn't make sense. You always want to fire where they're going. You don't want to fire where they're at. So there I was, standing right there, completely being ignored by all the explosions. Just standing there. Tink, 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 ta-dink, boom! Handheld conch in my hand went off, and I went flying up to the ceiling, into a little pipe, and right out of the base. Just perfectly executed handheld conch, annoyed him so badly, and I was like, oh yeah. Those were good times. It was fun. It was really, really fun. It's the most fun I've had in a game. Okay. Tafiz101 says, if you were a character in a game, which would you be? Not including a main character. Well, I would probably be Black Cat. The woman from Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Because, oh my god, would I have fun being her. And I'm sure you can figure out why.